and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, with the City of Hampton's Communications and Marketing Department. And today we're going to share with you some fun activities this fall at Bluebird Gap Farm, one of our favorite parks. My guest is Jim Seward. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. I'm sorry we aren't out at the park, but you know, it's raining, so maybe that's a good thing.
Much needed rain.
It is.
Yes.
You guys have a lot going on this fall.
We do a number of programs on a regular basis at the farm. We do hayrides the second Saturday of every month from 12 till 2.
And you do that actually year-round.
Yes, we do.
But I think
every
when
month.
It's fall time, you sort of think, oh, hayride, you know, it kind of feels like the right time to go out.
The only time we normally cancel that is if it's raining, because it'll ruin the straw or hay that we're using. But cold, hot, it doesn't matter. We do that every month.
Okay.
We also have a regularly occurring program called Pony Pedicures. Our horses and donkey have to have their hooves trimmed on a regular basis, and that's usually every 6 to 8 weeks. Summertime, their hooves grow faster, and so it's every 6 weeks. In the winter, it's every 8 weeks, and then we blend that in. So that occurs as another program. We also, in the spring, which is not now, we do sheep shearing, and we also shear our alpacas and llamas. But the big thing that we're talking about today is our Boobird Spooktacular. Boobird Spooktacular is October 26th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That is Saturday, 2 weeks and 2 days from now. And we have a lot going on that day. We have hayrides all day that day, not just for 2 hours.
Okay.
And the contribution to get in is $1 per person, ages 2 and up. Everything on the inside, once you get in, unless you want to buy food from one of our 3 food vendors, is pretty much free. So we have Mad Science of Hampton Roads. They are going to be doing 2 sets of Mad Science experiments on our amphitheater stage, once at 11 and again at 1 o'clock. We also will probably be bringing out a few animals in the in-between times.
Oh, that's nice.
For the kids and the public to see. Let's see, we have Virginia Cooperative Extension is setting up a booth.
They're so wonderful. They're just here talking about fall plantings.
Yes.
and what you can grow during the fall. And they have that wonderful demonstration garden that they work out there. So people, I suppose, can tour it. Well, anytime people can tour it, but they may have more people there telling folks what's there and what they can grow.
The master gardeners themselves are going to be doing, I think, at least 3, maybe 5 children's educational and Halloweeny activities. One of them involves a witch's cauldron, and another one is a scavenger hunt. Peninsula beekeepers will be there. Virginia Master Naturalists will be there. And I don't want to leave anybody out, so let's see. Clean City Commission will be there. I said the bees.
So this has a very Halloweeny name, but it is truly more of a fall festival. It's just the time of year. It's the Saturday before Halloween, but it's a kind of broad fall farm, growing environment.
Yes, we also will be handing out candy to the kids.
Hey, so there's a draw right there.
There's the draw right there.
Get them all sugared up, let them run around a little.
5 different stations that we're going to set up where you go collect candy, and that's for ages 2 to 13. It makes them walk around the farm to different locations so that it's not all in one place. So it's a neat thing for us to do. And the dollar contribution goes to the Friends of the Farm. They're paying for the candy, so they get the $1.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Friends of the Farm is the support group for Bluebird Gap Farm. They help us raise money and give us things that we need at the farm. They have paid for a lot of things at the farm.
And that is your nonprofit arm that really fills
Correct.
in where city resources aren't able to cover.
Correct.
Some of the renovations or signage or things that
They've paid
make
for
that
every bit
really
of the new
enriched.
signage that is out at the farm. And for instance, we are in the process of some major renovations at the farm. And one of the first things we're going to do is move all the ducks and geese out to the pond. All the ducks and geese are going to go out there. The fence is, I'm going to say, 95% done.
Really?
And the Friends of the Farm paid for that. And that was a lot of money, 700 feet of fence. and then wire fence to go on the back of that split rail fence. So ducks and geese are going out there.
Now, why is that? Is that just because it's a more natural setting for them?
It is a more natural
it's a little
setting.
farther away, right?
Yes, and we're
we're
trying to get people to take advantage of more of the farm. The farm is about 60 acres in size, but
Holy moly.
Yes, most people use, and that's the national average for a zoo is about 60 acres. So we are right on the average. But we want the public to take advantage of more of the farm. The public normally pretty much stays in about 20 acres of the farm. And again, we want to get them out and about and walk back. And on the other side of the duck pond, we have the over 100-year-old cemetery on the premises, and we have an azalea trail out there. And we want to get people out there to take advantage of those things.
Heck, I had no idea. I guess I've only been in that, the central part where the
Correct.
Animals mostly are.
So that's one of our main goals. And
I assume your hayrides go through some of that.
The hayrides,
if I'd been on a hayride, I would have seen
exactly.
that.
The hayride does take you, and in my little spiel that I say before we do a hayride, I say we're going to take you to the back of the farm where a lot of people don't walk back to see things, and you're welcome to walk back there once you get done with the hayride. We have bees, bee house back there. We have the azalea trail. We have a pond. You can see Newmarket Creek. There's a lot of things back there that the public just normally doesn't walk back and see.
So do I need to rent a kid for this, or kind of old lady just go on the hayride by herself?
Oh, you could go by yourself. Kids can't go by themselves, but adults can go on the hayride by themselves.
Okay.
Yes, the hayride takes about 10 minutes, and I go slow. I go walking speed, basically. But they see a lot of things at the back of the farm, and it's a lot more natural area back there too, instead of real intensive farming and buildings and sidewalks and all that. It's much more natural. Sometimes you see different kinds of ducks and geese on the pond that fly in, and other different animals that may be back there. I saw a deer yesterday at the back though.
So there's a walk-in, no, this is for me. I'm sorry, TV audience, this is all about me. But what's the walk-in trail like back there? Like, I have not thought about putting this on a map of walking trails in Hampton, but we probably could, couldn't we?
Yes, we're actually, another thing we're going to do is, you can walk to it no problem right through the grass, but we're actually putting in like a crush and run driveway all the way back to the trail. And then that portion alone is going to be 1/10 of a mile. It's not a very long trail, but in the spring it's very beautiful back there because a number of years ago a lot of azaleas and camellias were planted back there, and of course most of them bloom in the spring. There are a couple of...
So camellias are more of a fall to winter.
Yes, there are some that are winter blooming back there too.
Wonderful. Okay.
So the trail itself is pretty much a loop. You go in and come back out at the same place, and it's only just a little bit over 1/10 of a mile. So when you add the 1/10 of a mile to get to it and 1/10 of a mile to get back, it's about 3/10 of a mile. So that's pretty short.
So a short little trail though, and that would be nice, for people with maybe not little kids, but young kids. That's a good distance for them.
We just, a Boy Scout did his Eagle project in early summer, I think it was, and installed a new bridge that goes over a little swampy area. It's a little arched bridge, and he also built 3 convertible benches back there. They will convert into a picnic table, but there's 3 brand new benches back there, and you can overlook Newmarket Creek, and you'll see crabs on the edge of the little hermit crabs on the edge of the water sometimes. We even had a great horned owl nest back there in the woods. It was the last year or the year before that we spotted and kept an eye on. One of the 2 babies actually fell out of the nest, and I was lucky that I was going back there and checking on them every day. And luckily I did, because I saw one sitting on the ground, and Mom and Dad didn't like that too well, but they hang out in that area the whole time they're nesting. And of course, they sit on the eggs and feed the babies, but I had to pick the baby up. The nest was 40 feet up in the tree. And so
what did you do?
We got the local rescue group, Wildlife Response Incorporated, I believe is the name, and we actually gave it to them to raise and for release. We don't have a rehab or a permit for that. You have to have a special permit to do that, and we don't have that, so we gave it to them they have experts that do that all the time.
Wow. There's so much back there that I didn't know, and I'm sure other people don't know either. So
There is also a building back there. There's actually three structures. One of them is a bat. I used to call it a bat house, but it's a bat roost, and it was also a Boy Scout project, and it's for the bats to roost in during the day before they come out at night and hunt for insects.
and eat our mosquitoes.
Yes.
Yay, bats.
Yes. We're going to be putting up another bat house over the winter. The bats migrate because there's no insects in the winter, so the bats will be leaving shortly if they haven't already, and I hope to have that back up by spring so they have another place to roost. We also have the old Oyster Point Railroad Station, and we call Coal House at the back of the farm. This was the actual Oyster Point Railroad Station. It is in a little bit of disrepair, but it is a neat thing to see because if you think of the history of that, how many people used to come and go. Now, the railroad was not right there, and to tell you the truth, the history of the location, the original location of the building, is somewhat sketchy, and we're researching that at this point, and I'm trying to get a local group to do some refurbishing of that building. But what's neat about it is a lot of the structure on the inside is actual, like the beams that support the floor are like 3x12s.
Holy
They're
cow.
huge pieces of lumber, and the side that faces the interstate, it's actually right by the interstate, was actually the loading and offloading side. And I think it was as much for cargo as it was for human passengers on a train. I do have old pictures of the building from when it was in service, and it's neat. It looks exactly the same, except there's no sign on it now. But we're working on that.
That's great. Well, Jim, I have learned so much about the whole backside of Bluebird Gap that I need to go and visit.
There's a lot back there to see, and occasionally this spring we also had bald eagles nesting across Newmarket Creek, and you could see the nest, but it was so far away. Their nest can be up to 2,000 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And they call it an eyrie, and it was clear across Newmarket Creek, but something 2,000 pounds up in the top of a pine tree, you can see from a good distance.
Yeah.
And we saw the eagles on a regular basis back there when it was springtime. And while we were doing hayrides at least one of the months, I remember pointing out to the public, look, down there on the power line, there's one of the bald eagles right there. So
All right, that's
it was
great. So
interesting.
hayrides offered every month, but there's this special opportunity the Saturday before Halloween. What are your hours again?
The hours, Bluebird's hours on a regular basis are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday. The festival will be 10 till 3 on October 26th, and we will be doing hayrides from roughly 10:30 to 2:30 that day. We'll start just a half an hour late and end half an hour early.
So a great opportunity to teach the kids about the farm anytime at Bluebird Gap, that
Yes.
working farm, where eggs come from, you know, things that kids today don't have a lot of connection with. But also to get candy, to learn about bees and plants and all kinds of things,
Yes.
see some science magic. Great opportunity, but take that hayride. Let's look at the back of the farm because I'm very excited about that.
Yes, it's a neat trip to go to the back of the farm. It's an old 1977 tractor. The wagon is old too, so again, I don't go real fast or anything. It's a very leisurely pace to go around to the back of the farm, but it is a neat thing, and we do have a lot of repeat. Since it's free, a lot of people ride it several times.
Kids love that. Kids love that. You know, you do it once.
Sometimes
they
I
wanna go
hear
again.
there'll be little groups of Girl Scouts or something in there, and they'll sing songs while the tractor's going. And I can't hear them very well because of the sound of the engine, but it's a fun thing to do.
Well, thank you, Jim. Thanks for coming by.
I appreciate it.
And I
Thank
hope to
you.
see you out at Bluebird Gap, and I hope to see you out at Bluebird Gap too. It's a wonderful time in the fall to visit, especially the Saturday before Halloween, but really any time. Thank you for watching.